Okay, Elliot, I'm hoping you can inform a lot of the parents about some myths around scholarships.
Yeah, for sure. Let's dig into it. Myth number one, there's all this money out here for athletic scholarships at the college level. Guess what? Fact, the pot is much bigger for academic scholarships. If I'm a family and I want financial support and I'm looking for a scholarship, I'm going to put more eggs in the basket of going to school, getting good grades, do your studying. That's going to open up so many more doors for that young student athlete. And so the myth of, oh man, we really got to put in extra time on the court, on the field. Well, where are we spending our time? Where are we spending our energy? Is this statistically, is this the right route to take? Um, Look at the numbers. This is not a subjective opinion of mine. This is objective stats based on the pots of money at the college level. So when we look at the stats and we want to put our money in a more high probable position, let's put it in academics. If I'm a coach at the college level, what is the easiest way to get a student athlete? Good grades. If your kiddo earns good grades, that opens up so many more doors, and that is much easier to be aligned and get on that college roster spot. There's more wiggle room, so to speak, that the coach can bring in that athlete.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that the difference might be that large, where the money is a lot easier to access through academic scholarships. And a lot where my mind goes to it, there are a lot of student athletes struggling with the balance of school and sport. So I imagine if parents can also have this focus on, hey, we're going to care about academics because that's also where scholarships are potentially accessible. If that means extra tutoring or extra resources in general, I imagine this could end up being a stress reliever for the kid because now they're not struggling about making grades to stay on the team or just making grades good enough to go to the college that they want to. With that weight off their shoulders a little bit, if that's managed better, again, this goes back to the happier, healthier, and less stressed out kid is going to perform better than the counterpart who is more stressed out and struggling with the anxiety of test taking and homework all the time. So very interesting.
Yeah. Well said, Gabe. Totally. And I've said it before. If I'm going to put my money on an athlete, it's going to be that happy, healthy, well adjusted, confident student athlete in terms of performance,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to bet on them as opposed to the burnt out, anxious, high stress student athlete at the plate, right?
Yeah.
And as a parent, it's analogous, right? How can we set up our student athletes to be successful? And the classroom and the textbooks are number one. It opens a lot more doors.
Got it. Cool. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on in scholarship myth busting?
Yeah, this is a complicated idea, so I'll try and articulate it as best I can. The idea of both types of families, whether you are looking to reach that next level and an ultra type A competitive family, or you're that family who just wants your kiddo to participate and have fun. Both families will benefit from this idea of unconditional love and support. Why? Because it leads to sustained participation in the sport. Again, I said a moment ago, when we're burnt out, when we're not having fun, we're going to drop out, right? Then there's 0% chance of earning a college scholarship if you quit, right? So the recipe for success for both type A and the more recreational families is that love as the foundation, is the joy, the fun, emphasizing the process, emphasizing the life lessons, emphasizing what the fun aspects of sport are. Why? Because it sets up your kiddo for long-term success and continued participation in their sport, which then leads to them earning that next level spot.
Great point. I immediately started imagining an athlete who, through junior high and maybe the beginning of high school, shows so much promise, might be at the top of their class in their sport, but they become burnt out. And by their junior year, they're not even competing and they don't want to. And there's no scholarship for a sport in that regard. So especially if they have that foundation. Yeah, just facilitate, foster that love for the game so that they can have that longevity that is necessary for the success and hopefully scholarships.
Yeah. If they quit at age 13, like 80% of their peers, guess what? When you quit, you don't get a scholarship.